Letting go of attachment is becoming greater than the old program. What does that mean? What is the old program? It's living in autopilot. It's living in the past. It's living in what we need in the future. What do we need to start living in then? The present moment would be good, but most of us would rather our mind travel in past or future experiences to need to change our inner state, or an attachment to something from outside of us to need to happen for us to feel in elevated states. And on this channel, what I teach people is to enter elevated states naturally, because at our core, we are true happiness. At our core, we are meant to feel love throughout the body, for ourselves, for things, and people from outside of us. And that's not needing to care about everybody as a form of manipulation, of needing them to give us things in return. This is a state that you reach when you are connected to something greater just for the sake of being in that state. It becomes an end of itself. It's not a means to an end. I'm going to elevate my state so I can attract the things that I need in my life for me to feel better. I'm going to live in elevated states so I can grow a bigger following, or I can have more money flow into my life. I'm going to manifest all that money. That's not the point of spirituality. Spirituality, living in elevated states, feeling the flow, feeling creative energy, just wanting to give more of yourself to people for the sake of who you are being, just for doing it. You're not doing it to manipulate the outer world. When you are trying to form a relationship with someone you're extremely attracted to, what is the thought there? What's the thought process? Are you doing it just because you care about the other person and making them feel good? Or is it self-fulfilling? How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments. When you are attracted to somebody that you want to come into your life to make you feel better, or it's your person, that is my person, I want them to come back into my life, let me know in the comments. When you chase after somebody that's not available for you, how does it make you feel? From past experience, it's a feeling you keep chasing after that is keeps going down, it keeps going up and down, up and down, up and down. And there's a reason that it never stays up. The state never stays up because of the attachment to what you would get from that person. Once this person was able to validate me, I would then feel safe. It's an addictive pattern. And once you're not chasing after that person, you end up chasing after someone else until you can become awareness, observing the pattern. And where does this type of pattern come from? Our programming. And what's programming? Living in autopilot. Well, how do we stop living like that, Dale? What are we supposed to do? I like having attractive people in my life. I like having good things to be able to enjoy, and material things and things from outside. Well, what you need to do is think of the why you need these things. What is the why behind it? And really dig deep. Dig deep from your past relationships, from everything that led up to you watching this video right now. What is the negative emotion that's been on your mind a lot lately that you can't let go of? Because if that attachment can be brought to present, you can learn to do the inner work on it and then let it go. And how do we let go of attachment? By doing the inner work. The inner work. State of positive energy. and is a state of positive energy, just thinking happy thoughts. I'm going to think a good thought. I'm going to think happy thoughts and my life is fixed. I'm just going to think happy thoughts. I don't have to deal with the negative anymore. That's just who I am. Is that how it works? What do you guys think? Have you just thought happy thoughts and everything has gone away? No. It's changing who you are. It's changing the old programming. And I do make a lot of videos on this channel about changing the old self and becoming the new self. You have to be willing to leave the old self behind. Start to change that programming. And a good way to start is finding a good book to help reprogram the old way, the old looks, the outlook on life. A second is getting into some good meditations, and I've got some on the channel here. I've got one I'm actually going to be posting this week, but for now I will link in the top corner the Elevate Your Vibe Permanently meditation. And what this meditation does for you is it takes you out of living in the future or living as the ego self, and you just become awareness and elevated states of consciousness, and you become the observer in that meditation, and you are observing how you feel, and you end up talking to your higher self who gives you a message, and what that message is up to you whether you want to take it seriously or not. I know when I had a similar message said to me, it was time for you to make a change. It was time for you to let go of the attachment. It was time for you to form a new self and let go and leave behind the old self that was consumed by the old thought pattern, the old programming. I found God. I was able to quit alcohol for good. I was able to pour my life into projects I am extremely passionate about. It changed my energy completely. It changed the way people view me. It changed my relationships. I became dedicated to my craft. I became dedicated to becoming a self-help YouTuber that makes a video per day. And then I found passion and love for music. I make drum covers. I'm in a completely elevated state, flowing, loving energy. I get to choose cover songs I'm extremely passionate about and cover them on drums. That is just an example of you will have a calling when you learn to connect and live in those elevated states of energy. You're no longer living in the lack or the need for things that is attached to the desire energetic field. We are going to be living higher than in states of pride and taking pride in things. You move up to courage and eventually acceptance and love for things and yourself and everything in life. Everything flows and everything happens for a reason. When something will happen to you to trigger the old thought pattern, you just allow it to be. You no longer take things personally, and you learn to say the sentence to yourself, I have what it takes to deal with that. And you become good either way, whether it's something you used to take personally or not. In this new state that you're in, when you start to practice meditation, you start to practice living in elevated states. What living in elevated states will do for you is it will replace the old program. Would you rather be an autopilot that is consumed by the ego, your environment, and time, and always being in a rush? Well, you can keep living like that, being consumed by the advertisements on television that you see on Facebook, being consumed by what everyone else is doing, and having envy for them. Or would you prefer to bring yourself up to a level where you are equal to everyone and everything, and you love life for what it is and what you have, and learn to live with the gratitude of the freedom of allowing all of that weight to be lifted off of your shoulders and start living in the now. That you are good enough to take this path that your higher self is setting you on, and that you're going to start to take action on that path. And what is the first big thing we need to do to start on this path? To start to take correct action, to become the best self? Let go of the attachments. You need to let go of the attachments. Attachment is what keeps us living in the negative. And what we do with those attachments is it becomes who we are. It becomes familiar. And when one attachment is not fulfilled and you need to move on to something else, you find a new attachment to spike your dopamine for a short period of time. Or you're chasing after something that's never going to be given to you. Once that thing becomes boring or you get it, you realize you didn't really want it in the first place because it was just an attachment and desire. It wasn't feeling pure love. When you're doing it coming from a place of love, you're not trying to manipulate that thing to give you what you want. You are just loving because of the person you are being. You don't have to manipulate people. You don't have to manipulate opportunities for your life to change. You just have to start doing the work on yourself. And that's what I'm going to help you do on the channel here. So I thank you guys for watching this one. And I will attach at the end of the video. And I suggest practicing this meditation for 21 days. It's going to elevate your inner vibrational frequency permanently. So good luck.